Yo, what's going on, guys? So just kind of want to make a follow-up to the video last night, because I went over the patch, and pretty much everything I said was accurate. I was a little bit off on two things technically. One of them being the wizard and the rogue's base HP, which I said would be around the mid 70s. Turns out it was 84, so around the mid 80s, just about a number of 10 that was off. But as for things like the windlass crossbow and the crossbow, as I'm sure you could see this morning, they were immediately nerfed again. Crossbow. Funny enough, the crossbow got nerfed by more damage and it was buffed. Crossbow was buffed by 2 and then nerfed by 3. Windlass crossbow was buffed by 4 and then it was only nerfed by 3. So windlass crossbow is still insane and it probably still one taps people. Excuse me. But other than that, I talked about the player count on the game. I said I would be surprised. I said my expected number was somewhere around 20k, but I'd be surprised if it was more. And yeah, Uh, yeah, we are at just under 8,000 players on day one of the wipe. And I am recording this video at 12:28 p.m. on the 26th. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, it's 12:28 on a Thursday. People are working. No one's on the game. Let me just say this to remind you that around this, it's starting to fall off now, but somewhere around the past few hours is usually when the peak time for the game has been. Actually, I'm going to pull up Steam charts here in a second. But the Asian player base is generally like much higher for Dark and Darker. If I pull, a 7-day period. Can I see when this is? Yeah, right here. The Asian player base is much higher for Dark and Darker than anything else is. So the early morning has usually been a time when there are more players on the game. And yeah, I got it right here, I believe. Where's it at? Here it is, my browser. Brave up my browser. Yeah, here. And if you see, like, right here, right, like 10 peak player base, 10 peak player base, 10, 10, and then around, like, around 11 to 12 it starts to fall off. But as you can see, like, this is when the player base has been at its peak almost every single time. And at the beginning of this wipe, it peaked at what, 8,200 players. That is the max amount of players that have been on the game so far, is 8,200 at 7 a.m. I mean, what is there to say, right? Like, that they have pretty much finally killed the game, I would say. Like I said, I mean, less than 8,000 players on the game, day one of wipe. This wipe is going to be over 2 months long, almost guaranteed. Just, that's it. Yeah. I think we all knew this was coming sooner or later. Like, it was cooked. I mean, I think fundamentally, the choice behind the semi-wipe, it was, like, assuming they don't have content ready, which I think everybody at this point agrees they don't. It was kind of always going to happen, but the problem is, instead of trying to make it like a fun 2 months of, like, events and, really good gear, artifacts, everybody can use it, that sort of thing, instead what they did was the opposite. They basically removed any, like, you already didn't have a reason to play because leaderboards aren't out or anything. Like, there are already no leaderboards because these were done. So instead of making it so, you have some reason to play because the game's really, really fun with, like, really buffed loot drops or something, they went a step further and removed any reason you had to potentially play the game. They removed all of your gear. Like, the quests are the same as they were before. There's nothing. I mean, that's it. There is no reason to play this game. And I'm at the point where, I mean, I've kind of just, like, I've, like, resigned myself to to accept what is coming for Dark and Darker now. Because as much as I have loved this game in the past, and as much as I've wanted this game to succeed, I am now absolutely confident it won't. Like, genuinely, it feels like I am watching a ship sink. Very, very slowly, but it is sinking. Right? That's just what it is. And I can't stop it. Nobody else is going to stop it. The only person that could stop it is adamant about sailing his ship directly out into those waters, completely ignorant of the holes that he has been poking in below as water fills it. And, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. A game built off of lies and theft was probably never going to work. Because at this point, I also think a lot of people can agree that I don't think Iron Mace built this themselves. I don't. I don't think they were able to put out such a fantastic game in a span of a year or two, completely on their own. Yet, 2 years after the game's release, almost, because it will be 2 years in August, so in about 2 months. 2 years since the game's release, we have flip-flopped back and forth, made drastic changes to the game, added very, very little content, removed content. It's just been all over the place. Like, genuinely, the changes SDF makes as one man, it looks like they have numerous amounts of people, running this, because nothing else makes sense. Like, one patch they do something, and then the next patch they do something that's entirely opposite to what they did before. And it's like, okay, like how is the same person doing this? And I know in the podcast that Jay did with Odin and Soma, they said they think SDF just loves this game too much, and I don't think that's, honestly, I don't think so. I'm not sure I believe that's what it is. I think SDF genuinely just doesn't care. And I think that is the only reason he is able to make changes like this, is because he honestly just does not care. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does really, really like this game and he really wants it to succeed, but I don't see any way that anyone who would want this game to succeed would be able to make these changes this much. Because, I mean, it's just time after time after time, they continuously make the worst possible option. They make the worst possible, they take the worst possible option. They make the worst possible decision when I don't even think it's possible. It's like, wow, this can't get better, and he says, like, watch this, and then this can't get worse, and he says, watch this, and he makes it worse. When no one thinks he could possibly do anything worse, he does it. Somehow, some way, he does it. And honestly, it's really impressive at this point. Like, I'm sure that if he could take that talent and take it somewhere else, he would do great. Like, he was like an undercover spy and had to sabotage. Like, I'm sure SDF would be like, honestly, maybe not. Maybe it's too obvious at this point. Maybe him trying to sabotage is just too obvious. And yeah, I wonder what it's got to be like to be working at Iron Mace right now, right? Like, you were spending... Because, I'm sure there are plenty of people over there that really are, like, very hardworking. They really want the game to succeed. And they're spending hours and hours of their, day working hard on this game. To then see, super dumb fuck just run their hard work into the ground. To have a semi-wipe that has, 8K players on. It makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder. Like, what are they doing? How is SDF still leading this company? At this point, I'm pretty sure that I don't think it's physically possible to remove SDF from the head of Iron Mace. I know a lot of people talk about, like, the shareholders and stuff, but I don't even think, I'm assuming they can't. Because anyone with half of a brain would be able to look at the player base and see, like, clearly something is going, like, something is being, like, terribly, terribly misled here, and something is going terribly wrong. And, everyone knows where it is. Like, everybody with half a brain can pinpoint the issue at Iron Mace and what has led to the current situation that we are in. But, yeah. There's not much else to say. So, I'm just going to end this video with one thing. And that is, if you guys are unhappy with this patch, if you are unhappy with the game, like I am, and I'm sure many, many of you are, two things. One, first of all, don't play the game. Show them in the player count the mistakes they're making. Show them that we are not willing to put up with this. We are not willing to play this terrible game in this terrible state. And two, let them know about it. Make YouTube videos, give them feedback, type in their Discord, whatever way you see fit. Let them know how sick and tired of we are. Sick and tired. Sorry, I just woke up. Sick and tired we are of just the bullshit that they keep feeding us with this game. That we are sick and tired of SDF running this game that we all love into the ground. That we are sick and tired of patch after patch after patch of stuff that we have tried before that we know won't work, that no one is asking for. And with that, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, peace.